Anna May Wong, born 1905, died 1961. Anna was born Wong Liu Tsong on the 3rd of January 1905 to second-generation Chinese-American parents. She was the second of 7 children born to Wong Sam King and his second wife Li Gon Toy. Her paternal grandparents had emigrated from Taishan in the Guangdong province of China in 1853, and Anna grew up on Flower Street near Chinatown in Los Angeles. In 1910, her family moved to Figueroa Street, where they were the only Chinese family in the neighborhood. Initially, Anna and her elder sister Lu Ying attended public school, but were forced to move to the Presbyterian Chinese school after becoming the subjects of racial taunts. Around this time, the US motion picture industry began to relocate from the East Coast to LA, and Anna soon became obsessed with film, skipping school and using her lunch money to visit the theater. Her father was against her interest in film as it interfered with her studies. Despite this, Anna became determined to pursue a career as an actress. At 9 years old, she would regularly visit the multitude of film sets around LA, begging directors to give her a part, earning her the nickname CCC, which stood for Curious Chinese Child. At just 11 years old, she had already settled on her stage name, Anna May Wong. Anna began her acting career while still in school and landed her first role behind her father's back in 1919 as an uncredited extra carrying a lantern in The Red Lantern. Anna worked steadily for the next 2 years as an extra until she became ill with St. Vitus's dance, or Sydenham's chorea, a neurological illness characterized by uncoordinated jerking movements in the face, hands and feet. Doctors could not help her, and unable to pursue her dreams of stardom, Anna was on the verge of a breakdown. Then her father took her to a traditional Chinese medicine practitioner, whose successful treatments cured her. In 1921, at 16 years old, she dropped out of Los Angeles High School to pursue a full-time acting career. In the same year, she received her first credited film role in Bits of Life. In 1922, Anna appeared in her first leading role in the film Toll of the Sea. It was only the second Technicolor feature to be made in the history of film and the first to be produced from Hollywood. Variety magazine praised her performance specifically as extraordinarily fine acting. Despite such positive reviews, Hollywood producers were reluctant to cast Anna in a starring role due to her ethnicity. Instead, they capitalized on her growing fame but relegated her to supporting roles, such as a concubine in the 1923 film Drifting. In 1920s Hollywood, roles for female Asian actresses were defined by 2 stereotypes: the demure butterfly and the manipulative dragon lady. In 1924, Anna appeared in the film The Thief of Baghdad in a quintessential dragon lady role as a scheming slave. The film was an unlikely success due in large part to Anna's brief but striking appearances, and grossed over $2 million. Around the same time, she had an affair with Todd Browning, director of her previous film Drifting. Their relationship was highly controversial as Anna was underage and some states still practiced racial segregation laws that prohibited interracial relationships. Following her second prominent role, she moved out of her family home and, in an effort to increase her employability, began cultivating an image as a flapper. Anna's career, however, would continue to be hampered by Hollywood censorship, which prevented any actor from sharing an on-screen kiss with a person of another race. With a lack of Asian leading men in the 1920s, Anna could not play a leading lady. She had 2 other supporting roles in 1924 as an Eskimo in The Alaskan and Princess Tiger Lily in Peter Pan. The following year, Anna gained critical praise for another dragon lady role in the film 40 Winks. In 1926, she was invited to place the first rivet at the groundbreaking ceremony for the Grauman's Chinese Theatre. In the same year, Anna starred in The Silk Bouquet, later retitled The Dragon Horse. It was one of the first films in the US to be produced with Chinese backing, provided by an influential Chinese business conglomerate, and featured Asian actors in Asian roles. Tired of being either typecast or passed over for leading Asian roles in favor of non-Asian actresses, in 1928 Anna left Hollywood for Europe. That year she became a sensation in Berlin after starring in 2 notable films. Critics completely ignored her American birth, mentioning only her Chinese origins, and she was acclaimed as a transcendent talent and great beauty. Later in Vienna, she played the title role in the operetta Shunxi, for which she learned to speak fluent German. Around this time, Anna became close friends with German actress Marlene Dietrich, and damaging rumors began to circulate that they were in a lesbian relationship. In 1929, Anna appeared in her last silent film, Piccadilly, reportedly outshining top-billed popular American actress Gilda Gray. Anna was enticed back to Hollywood in early 1930 by a contract with Paramount Studios and the promise of top billing. Soon she landed a starring role in the Broadway production On the Spot. The play ran for 167 performances, despite initial tensions between Anna and the director, who wanted her to use stereotypical Chinese mannerisms, which she refused. In November of 1930, Anna's mother was killed by an oncoming vehicle outside the family home on Figueroa Street. Soon after, her father and her younger siblings relocated to his ancestral hometown Taishan. Anna accepted her last Dragon Lady role in order to work with prominent director Joseph von Sternberg in the 1931 film Daughter of the Dragon. Although she had a starring role, she was only paid $6,000, while an actor who only appeared for 23 minutes earned double. In 1932, Anna starred alongside Marlene Dietrich in Shanghai Express, and their sexually charged scenes together fueled old rumors of their romantic relationship. As well as this, Anna's performance was not viewed favorably by Chinese critics, who called her a disgrace to the Chinese race. By the late 1930s, Anna had become an international fashion icon. She was voted the world's best dresser in 1934 by the New York Mayfair Mannequin Society and the world's most beautiful Chinese girl by Look magazine in 1938. Despite her success in Europe and starring role in Shanghai Express, Anna was passed over for a string of leading roles. In 1935, MGM began casting The Good Earth, adapted from the popular Pearl Buck novel. Anna had long expressed a desire to play the lead role, and the press had supported her as best choice for the part from as early as 1933. However, the studio settled on a Caucasian actor for the lead man, and Hollywood censorship prohibited any on-screen interracial romance. She was instead offered the part of a deceitful seductress, which she refused, telling MGM head of production, "You're asking me with Chinese blood to do the only unsympathetic role in the picture, featuring an all-American cast portraying Chinese characters." Following this major disappointment, Anna went on a year-long tour of China. The Chinese government continued to criticize her during her travels, and an incident occurred while Anna disembarked in Hong Kong, where she was jeered by a hostile crowd and reduced to tears. She often expressed her sadness at being rejected by China for being too American and by American producers for being too Chinese. The pressures of international celebrity had taken a toll on Anna over the years, and she suffered from bouts of depression as well as having become a heavy drinker and smoker. In the late 1930s, Anna made several small-budget films for Paramount Studios. They were often dismissed by critics, but higher-profile films were subject to harsher censorship, and these low-budget productions provided a platform for Anna to portray non-stereotypical Chinese characters. In 1937, she starred in The Daughter of Shanghai, which was rewritten with her as the heroine of the story. Around this time, Anna became a passionate advocate for Chinese refugees of the Pacific theater of World War II. She auctioned off all of her movie costumes and donated the proceeds to Chinese aid organizations. Between 1939 and 1942, she made few films and instead dedicated her time to attending events in support of the Chinese struggle against Japan. In 1942, she wrote the preface to one of the first Chinese cookbooks, New Chinese Recipes, and donated her fee to United China Relief. In the same year, she starred in 2 anti-Japanese propaganda films, Lady from Chungking and Bombs Over Burma, and again donated her salary to United China Relief. In 1951, Anna starred in a detective series that was written specifically for her, The Gallery of Madame Liu Tsong. She played the title character, which used her birth name. The show aired during prime time but was cancelled after 1 season. There are no known copies of the show or its scripts in existence. By 1953, Anna's health had deteriorated due to her continued heavy drinking, and she suffered internal bleeding. In 1956, she moved in with one of her younger brothers in Santa Monica. That year, she made a documentary on China entitled Bold Journey, featuring footage from her trip in 1936. It was one of the first US documentaries on China to be narrated by a Chinese American. In 1960, Anna received a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Her last film project was a supporting role in Portrait in Black, starring American actress Lana Turner. On the 3rd of February 1961, Anna died of a heart attack while she slept. Anna had never married. When asked by a reporter in 1936 if she had any marriage plans, she had replied, "I am wedded to my art." Anna spent her entire life torn between 2 cultures and often rejected by both. Her determination to succeed in an industry and a time that were inherently racist is truly inspiring. That is why she is one of our favourite Weird Wonderful women. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, share and subscribe, and thanks for stopping by Weird Wonderful Women, the channel dedicated to all those weird and wonderful ladies who dare to be different.